seem to be a slight skill difference. Now, Rubik seems to be, rather than chasing his opponent, he looks like he's more running the items. Nice double rocket to LG finish again. That's the second LG finish I think he's had from a rocket combo. But he's just doing the standard, but where he's going, he's always finding Baldwin. So Baldwin really needs to kind of play a little bit smarter on the defense and just try not to show face as much. Otherwise, he's just gonna, otherwise these frags are just gonna keep happening, because you know that Rubik's is gonna take RA, probably push into PG, then he's gonna go Mega, bottom yellow, back to RA, and he's just finding Baldwin in, you know, silly situations.
And he just heard a jump from Baldwin. He's checking because Red Out's about to come up. He's laying a trap. Looks like Baldwin's not going to spring it, so Rubik's decides to press in. We'll still have advantage on the red pickup. We'll be able to grab it, and Baldwin's smart enough to not show his face until he gets a nice free railgun shot, and that was a really nice cheeky shot there. Rubik's, well, able to steal away the armor. So stack-wise, Rubik's still really strong, but Baldwin's showing that he's got a little bit of timing, a little bit of cheap shot in him. I like that. Let's go take a look at Baldwin and see what he can put together here. Misses that rail. Critical miss. Only shooting a 33% rail at the moment.
Yeah, seriously, this guy doesn't even look like he's got 125 FPS when he's playing, but nice of him not to go through the teleporter, I guess. Nice rocket as well, but just needs to get away, and he's not actually putting up, like he's not even acting, like when he takes damage on the defense, he doesn't deal damage, and that's really surprising, because normally in a 1v1 situation, when someone is having to chase you, when you've at least got 50 to 100 armor, you normally would make sure you position yourself to put them in a really difficult position, so if they do damage, they also receive a lot of damage themselves. But Baldwin is kind of, his positioning's not so good. Like just in that fight alone, he's you know, taken about the same damage as he dealt until the final rocket, which he only got away with his life with. So he looks like he's struggling, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get a grip on the map, even though it's 5-0 and there is a possible comeback.
Yeah, and that's a nice choice by Rubik's to go shotgun with that close range. Up by 6 frags, and we haven't really seen any major battles for resources. And to Rubik's credit, I think that he's also making sure to at least deny one of the yellows, and if not, you know, put pressure on both. And we haven't really seen any big battles for Red Armor or Mega yet, and that's just, I think, you know, credit to Rubik's so far dominating the map. That's a great start and great finish to the rocket battle that Rubik's gets 3 in a row to give him the 7th frag. And at this point, Baldwin's probably thinking, you know, there's that whole I believe I can fly, but I didn't really want to take a flight right at that moment. Unfortunately, Rubik's had different plans. So up by 7. I don't know. I mean, is there now, if you had to kind of compare this to, you know, the people that you're used to seeing Too Good, do you feel like, you know, Rubik's, if he, what I'm seeing right now is against any of the major contenders, Rubik's would have a hard time. But
yeah, but the thing is, he's got the basics down. Like he's going through the motions. He knows how to run the map in control, but he's not like challenged to find his opponent. So what? Like I can run a map like all day long, ZTN versus a weaker opponent. But let's say my weaker opponent doesn't want me to kill him and is very good at it. Then I'm just running armors and not getting kills. But Baldwin is unfortunately, you know, giving out those kills quite easily. So Rubik's Cube hasn't been tested. Like we don't really know how good he is, but aim-wise, pretty standard, solid. He does favor a lot of rocket LG over the railgun, but he is in control, so he hasn't had to use that railgun often. His LG is pretty decent. I'd say it's around like a 27 to 30% or something.
It's actually 28%
at the moment, but
yeah.
So it's okay, but again, he's running the motions and he's doing the right thing. And every time he catches Baldwin, he looks like Baldwin just gets scared and he's just like run, and then just spams rockets constantly on the defense. Look, it's just it's amazing defensive rocket launcher everywhere. Yeah, he totally had that timed as well. That's his secret. That's his niche. That's gonna make him
way back in, man. 9 frags. Is he gonna pull a reptile here? 9 frags in 3.5 minutes. 10 frags, 3.5 minutes. It's possible. No, but I mean, I think it's really cool to just see Rubik's Cube make a comeback. At least, you know, even if it's momentary, make a comeback to Quake 5, because you know, obviously he's got some raw skill. You know, I would say though it's got to be a bit intimidating if you think about, you know, if he really hasn't been on the scene, because I honestly didn't even know. If he hasn't really been on the scene for, you know, that long, I mean, we're talking like, you know, what was it, like 97, 98, something like that, back when Thresh was playing. So, I mean, it's a really, really long time to be coming back to any sort of FPS game. The game has changed so much.
Yeah, certainly, but you say that, and then you say, well, what maps did they pick? And you go, wait a minute, Rubik's Cube picked the new map, T9, you know, so...
Yeah, I mean, that caught my eye too.
But, I don't know, we'll have to see. And I didn't even know that was a Quake World map or something. I'm not even sure if it was or wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but maybe it was, and I'm just, like, unknowledgeable. But certainly it's, you know, he's doing the ZTN motions, ZTN dance.
He's finally bringing out the railgun. He's only hit about 1 or 2 shots with it. He's got a 13%. Very rarely used it though. So, you know, to be quite honest, like, you know, accuracy-wise, I think we're a little bit more used to seeing LG in the range of, you know, the 30s and 40s sometimes, with some of the top pro players. Rocket launcher is about, you know, where it needs to be, maybe a little bit higher, because that's sort of the main spam weapon at the moment. But yeah, I mean, I'm just really curious. I would love to see, say, Rubik's, you know, qualify, and then you know, see what his first map is, you know, when he plays off in the actual cup itself rather than the qualifiers. I think that will be really entertaining to see, because, you know, I guess I always have this special place in my heart for the old school, you know.
Touching. Alright, so last minute, and we've actually got, like, we had Rubik's actually down to no armor at one point, and he didn't lock down a kill onto Baldwin, but Baldwin should be able to be pretty strong. Mega is the next item to be up. I don't actually have timers on, someone should tell me how to turn them on, but Baldwin doesn't even want a challenge for Mega, it seems. Maybe he can take a red, but I'm not sure. No, that's always a bad place to be in. And Baldwin's mouse sensitivity looks too high for his game. His movements are really jerky, and he probably would need to lower his sense slightly or get a better mouse and mouse pad, because he doesn't seem to have a smooth control over it. It's flicky, and flicky's great. Like, I love flicky style, because if you practice flicky style, if you practice, like, being able to handle a high sensitivity, you can just pull off some crazy stuff. And, you know, that's like Cypher, Sturmy. Sturmy's actually a high sense player, which surprises a lot of people. Faz, and, you know, it's you have to practice a lot though and be very, very comfortable, and he doesn't look as comfortable as he should be with the sensitivity he's got.
Yeah, and that'll do it for the first map, and I believe T9 was the next place to go. That was Rubik's Cube's choice. So, as beatdowns go, it wasn't too bad, 18-0. I actually have a little bit of fear for Bullwind, because, as we know, the frags can go so quickly on T9, so
well, the other thing as well is that Rubik's Cube obviously favors the LG and rocket launcher, and so far Baldwin's only been really able to use a rocket and railgun, and also his positioning's not been as strong, so his defensive rockets, in my opinion, are going to be far weaker than the offensive LG from Rubik's Cube. So I can guarantee you that 60% plus of the frags would probably be LG if Baldwin wants to take center fights. If not, you know, it would just be rockets. But I'm expecting a lot of LG frags. But I think Rubik's Cube just knows he can run around and rocket as well, which is, I wouldn't say an optimal way to get your kill, but even a rocket launcher, if you hit a good first shot, is by far the strongest weapon in game, because that first shot nullifies any dodging, and not being able to dodge a second shot means that, you know, you land 200 damage. Over the 2 shots basically, but it's like, I just can't see it happening. Like, the LG is just going to destroy him, and he doesn't even need the LG to destroy him. The rockets would do it as well. And Baldwin, his defensive rockets, I haven't seen him yet be good. His positioning is pretty bad on ZTN. Let's see if he can step it up there.
Well, and it seems like he's not really comfortable with like moving backwards, you know, and which is kind of a critical thing when you're trying to play defensively, because you need to know how to get out of room, how to dodge